Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 15th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we will get started shortly with our analysis for today. A lot of big news in the market today, pre-market. Also, some stuff going on in the background regarding the banks, especially the ones in the EU. So we will take a look at that stuff. Expecting a lot of volatility today. And then we will continue on and see how we can take on this market. But you probably want to be a bit careful with a lot of the crazy movement throughout the day. I'm expecting a lot to happen today. A lot of back and forth movement. There's not too much direction in the market currently because a lot of the movement right now is based off the news of this morning. So we're seeing a lot of jerky movements back and forth. So got everything set up right here. I'm going to get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Down. So real quick. Looks like links are all sent out. People are making their way in. So I'll get a few moments for people to join in, and then we will go from there. What did I do here? Oops. All right. All right, perfect. So, all right, guys, morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 15th. It is 6:27 right now. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the market today, guys. If you guys saw some big pre-market news, I was negative as anticipated. We discussed this yesterday. Wasn't expecting the news to be good. There's also a lot of news regarding a lot of the banks in the EU that are starting to fail or are going to fail. If you guys have been looking at the Forex market, it's been moving pretty crazy. Same with US30 over here. So we'll see what happens shortly. Let me see who's here so far. Morning T, morning Gary, morning Daniel. Yeah, Daniel said, hi, Sean, CNBC, Dow futures fall 600 points. Yeah, so we could probably see some, we'll see what happens when the market opens shortly. But, as I was just discussing earlier, a lot of back and forth movement in the market, a lot of uncertainty because there's just a lot of stuff going on. There's pre-market news at 5:30. I'll mark that up right now. So we had news over here at 5:30 pre-market. It was the core PPI, inflation news, core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, PPI, and retail sales. Just a lot of stuff going on. It was all negative news. We already anticipated this yesterday. We're going to a recession. News is not going to be good, regardless of the fact. Right now, CNBC just reported, that market's up or it's down 600 points due to the Credit Suisse that's, adding to the financial sector in problems, because, the banks in the US failed last week, and then we have these EU banks right here failing as well. It's not good for the economy, right? So we'll see, how this ends up playing out. But yeah, you guys want to be a bit careful with entries here. So we had news over here at 5:30. I'm going to go and mark that up. So I'm just going to go and maximize this one for now, because I don't really want to have too much stuff on the chart. So news over here at 5:30. Price is kind of close to it. And then we have news over here as well at 7. So 7:30. And that's pretty much it for Forex Factory. 7:30. And then we'll see what happens here. Market's going to open in about 20 seconds, guys. So we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, a lot of craziness in the market today. All right, market is opening up right about now. Market's kind of frozen right now. Nice. Congrats, Lucas. Lucas said day 1 of funded account challenge. Let's go. Definitely. All right, guys. So market is now open. And we will see where, this ends up taking us. So that initial push to the upside was anticipated. We already figured this was going to happen, because the news this morning said market was down 600 points. Price gets manipulated to the upside. And then we could expect it to come, right back down. Huge wick right there, rejecting directly off the news candle. So no huge surprise there. It's pretty much expected. Yeah, with the craziness going on behind the scenes today, guys, I don't know if I'll be taking any trades myself, because, the last thing I want to do is get caught in this, spike back and forth. But I mean, if I see something good, I'll take it, obviously. But, you guys know how I trade. I'm very risk averse. I don't really like taking trades that I'm not too sure about. Like right now, I'm not sure how the market's going to move. Of course, I think price is going to come back down and it's going to be bearish. But I think at the moment right now, a lot of uncertainty. I mean, if you look at the bigger picture here, obviously price does look bearish. Like it needs to come back down at some point. However, we don't know when that come down will happen, right? I mean, this thing could come down at any moment. But see, I don't think this is going to hold though. So what I would be looking for here is I'd probably be looking for like some sort of V1, V2, V3 variation. One of the variations that will indicate a reversal back to the downside. So I do think price will come back down eventually. Because you look over here on the higher time frames, 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour time frames, it's pretty much bearish, even on the shorter time frames here. So we'll see what happens, in the next couple of minutes. 1 second. And the storm over here in Southern California is super annoying. Just as I got better, I think I'm getting a cold again because of this weather. But it's all good. Just got to deal with it. Anyways, so right here on the 1 minute, price is obviously bullish, but everything else is bearish. So 5 minute, 10 minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hours bearish. Let's see who's here so far. Morning D. Morning D, morning David, morning Shannon, morning Jamie. Morning Christian, morning Stern, morning Karen, morning Gactive, morning Martha. Morning everybody, morning Kenny. All right, guys, so the market is kind of bouncing around right now. There's no entries for us to take at the moment. Price is still bearish across the 5, 10, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 2 hour, but the 1 minute over here is obviously bullish at the moment. What I'd be looking for is a possible reversal pattern, price to come back down. I mean, that's kind of what I see happening here. Just got to wait for it to come, because obviously you can see here on the other time frames, price is still bearish. So the 1 minute is the only time frame that's really bullish right now. The 5 minute might shift to a bullish bias, but there's no guarantee it's going to hold because the market's not doing so great. There was news this morning, all negative. We have news over here at 7. Not expecting it to be positive either. So we'll see. Let's go over here to my FX book real quick, see if I missed any other news events. Other news events today, 7:30. That's pretty much it. 7:30 news today. Price is still pushing up, so we'll see where this ends up going. But of course, you want to hold off for a bit before taking anything too risky. David over here chased this push to the upside, made 740 for the day. Nice work, David. Risky, but good decision right there, because you did expect to take that trade based off the news this morning. So the thing that I've taught you guys in the past is typically when CNBC reports something, the market typically does the opposite, right? So this morning they reported market was down 600 points. What happened on open? Price probably pushed up 600 points. Not quite 600, but 100 points, 130 points. So never believe what the market tells you. If the news tells you something, typically the market's going to do the opposite. So you guys listen to like what I've taught you guys, over the years, and if you guys took that to your advantage, play it out in your favor. So Patricia over here, total profit of 1,820 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. She got that swing to the downside, quick little pushes. Here's Jamie over here, some pre-market profits, total profit of 926 for the day. Nice work, Jamie. All right, perfect, guys. So solid work right there. As I mentioned, you probably want to look for price to reverse back down, because that's kind of what I'm expecting here. I don't know when it'll happen, but eventually I do expect price to make its correction back to the downside. You probably want to look for like a V1 or something, V1, V2. Catches it starts coming down further. So I'm expecting the correction to come down at some point. So this 1 minute looks like it might be coming down, but there's no for sure guarantee it's going to come down yet. It's still kind of bouncing around where it's currently at. That's kind of what we're looking for and waiting for here. But as you can see on the higher time frames, everything is still pretty bearish. So obviously we're expecting price to come back down. The 1 minute's the only time frame that's currently bullish right now. The 5 minutes kind of up there, but it's not necessarily shifted yet. So yeah, I probably just want to sit tight for a better confirmation here. Nice. Maddie said he caught the drop as it wicked off the 5 minute high. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I might just sit out most of the day today, guys, because the market is just not necessarily moving very smoothly. It's kind of just spiking around a lot. It's not really moving too smooth. For days like this, I don't necessarily like taking too many unnecessary risks. Kenny said his MT4 is frozen. Is anyone else's MT4 frozen? Mine looks fine to me. It might just be your internet connection, Kenny. I've been watching my MT4 actually, so mine hasn't froze at all. So I'm not sure if anyone has a frozen MT4, but I think mine looks fine, so I can't really say. All right, so price is coming back down here on the 1 minute. I mean, this could be a possible momentum scalp, but the thing with the trend here is that it hasn't confirmed on the 1 minute, so I can't really say whether it's going to be a good entry or not. We do have a sell signal on the 5, sell signal on the 10. So technically, if you were looking for a momentum scalp entry, this would technically be one. However, one thing that would be a problem is that it's right at news price. That's obviously a red flag. Hey, Jacob, how's it going? Morning. Yeah, Daniel said the breakout for today was a buy, full TP. Yeah, it looks like it played out, Daniel. So I go over here on the 1 minute real quick. Maximize this. So let's see, market open over here on the 1 minute. This would have been the breakout entry right there. Yeah, definitely. So if you guys took a breakout this morning, full TP. I mean, the volatility this morning's been, or this whole time has been pretty good, guys. This might be a good time to start taking the regular breakout, like the original one. I mean, an additional confluence would be the trend here. His trend was bullish. So, maybe I'll start playing around with the breakout again. because volatility is actually there. The reason why we didn't take the breakout for a while is because volatility was super dead, especially on February and like early January. There's just no volatility, price kind of going back and forth. But now that we kind of have this volatility in the morning and we get a lot of these spikes, the breakout might be good. So yeah, thanks Daniel for continuing to let us know when the breakouts play out. I haven't really looked at it, but from testing it in the mentoring session and going back and looking at it this week, the market's super volatile. So a volatile market is good for the breakout. That's why typically we apply the breakout early in the year, spring, fall, and then we stop applying it during the summer because the market's kind of slow. There's no direction, and then sometimes in the winter as well. So yeah, definitely. So let's see what we got over here. Let's see what Patricia mentioned. Patricia said, unless we get a good trade, Sean. I know, right? Patricia's like catching these nice little spikes down here. So nice work, Patricia. Just looking at her account so far, she's taking sells. The market's pushing up, but she's still hopping into these sells as price bounces back down. So she's catching these at perfect timing as they swing to the downside. Total profit of 3,385 for the day. Great work, Patricia. Yeah, Patricia said, done for the day, not messing with the markets any longer unless Sean finds a good trade. Yeah, good decision. Yeah, because it's a bit of a gamble right now. Because I know, obviously, if you had a wide enough stop loss, like if you had a super wide stop loss and you took a sell, you'd be fine because price eventually is going to come back down. But if your stop loss is too tight, it's easy to get kicked out, right? Like if you had a 300 pip stop loss, it's easy to get kicked out here. Like simple, because this thing keeps spiking up and down so quickly. If you had a 500 pip stop loss, a little different because you got a big space right there. Price spikes down, hit your TP, you're good. Price spikes down, hit your TP, you're good. You do that like a couple times until you have to make changes. But yeah, great work, Patricia, taking those sells right there. I mean, personally for myself, I wouldn't chase the buys yet. I think price eventually is going to come down. It's just a matter of time until it does. But right now, price is kind of just going back and forth. And with my type of trading style, you got to be really on point. Like if you guys want to scalp these moves, you got to be really on point. You can't get greedy. You can't be slow. You got to be very quick and you got to think on your feet. So if you see something come down, you see a pattern for a reversal and you're looking for sellers, you got to hop into those trades and get out as quickly as possible. Because if you don't, you can get caught on the retracement back up. So for me personally, I'm going to sit out of the market. I mean, obviously I could probably trade in this market if I really wanted to, but this is not the type of trading that I want to do on a live session because I don't want you guys to develop bad habits, over trading, revenge trading, and really taking trades without any actual entries. Like for me personally, if I was looking for an entry here, I'd be looking for a V1 variation, V1 or V2 variation, because I'm expecting price to come back down, right? So if I see any of those, that's where I would probably take an entry if I'm taking something speculative. And if I would take it, I'd probably take it with a 5 at 25.50 because it's just, I mean, the market here is it's too volatile. You can't use a 300 pip stop loss right now. It's like if you use that, you're pretty much you're gonna get caught in a lot of close moves, or will spike up, hit your stop loss, and then come right back down. So for me personally, guys, I'm not looking to take anything specific right now. If you guys want to take stuff, just make sure that you have an actual strategy behind your entry. You're not just taking random trades. So you can see right here, price is pushing up super heavy, guys. So this is kind of like it's like really uncertain right now. Well, there hasn't been a V1 variation. So if you look back over here, so let me just go back to the 1 minute. As I mentioned, I said if I was looking for an entry here, I'd look for some sort of V1, V2 variation, right? There's no V2, V1 variation anywhere over here. So the high came up right here. There's no variation. So there's still no entry for us to take. If I also see like a V1 variation up here, double body, double wick, or maybe a high with a green candle, strong red candle following it, then from there, that'd be a reversal pattern. And I can probably expect it to come back down. But right now, at the moment, there's like really nothing for us to take right now. So I'm going to sit tight, wait for the market to stabilize, figure out what direction it's going to go in. And then from there, I'll start looking for entries. But for now, I'm just going to sit tight and wait. Got news over here at 7 o'clock coming up. Here's a clean chart. Price is super far away from opening price. So if we do get a V1 variation, my correction point is going to be opening price, right? That's target price point. So that's kind of all you'd be waiting for right now. You'd be looking for a reversal pattern. Once you see the reversal pattern, you pretty much ride that to the downside. But at the moment right now, there's just there's just nothing for us to take. Yeah, so let's see. Scrolling over here. Christian said he thinks it could touch the New York session and London session and drop. Yeah, let me see where that's at. Yeah, no, that's a good area right there, Christian. So Christian's right. I could see that happening as well. Price might come up there, have a reversal pattern, V1, V2 variation, and then possible swings back to the downside. This right here is not a variation, so I think price may continue to push up higher. But I don't know. We'll see. Maddie said, I think the 1 hour wants to test the pivot. Let me go over here to the higher time frames. Yeah, so Maddie said that he's expecting price to possibly come up and touch the pivot over here, test it, and then come back down. I can see that too. So if you guys are looking for areas of reversal, I mean, basically just look on the higher time frames, right? You can use the pivots. That's what Maddie's using. Christian over here is using the sessions. They're both good areas of rejection. I think that might be the same area that Maddie's looking at. So we'll see. I mean, right now, guys, it's just all about patience. I've been looking at my other, because I know a lot of other traders in the space, guys, like other trading companies and trading groups. I've been looking at their analysis this morning when I woke up. A lot of them said they actually blew accounts because they didn't expect the Swiss bank, like, you know, the Credit Suisse bank. When I was showing you guys, they weren't expecting this to happen. So like a lot of them were in buys, like for UJ and stuff, and they ended up blowing accounts. I mean, not us, of course. I was actually in a sell. So I actually took a trade here last night. I was just taking the basic like intraday scalp, but I was doing it on the 4 hours. So I actually took this trade last night and I pulled out in profit down here. I was in some drawdown. I entered late, not necessarily right here. I entered like up here and I went to bed and then I woke up and I was in profit. There's some other traders that were trying to counter trend trading this because they were expecting price to push up due to the news this morning. But you know, the Credit Suisse information came out and they ended up getting stopped out right here. Some people blew their accounts. It's crazy because this stuff wasn't anticipated. Like they weren't expecting this news event to happen. So just a heads up, I've been trading Forex at night lately, guys. I tried to trade NASDAQ last night, but the market is just a little too crazy. So it's not necessarily moving the way I want it to. So it's hard because when I set up my TP stop loss, it just doesn't look proper. I think it's because of the spread. Last night's spread was super high for US30 and NASDAQ. I think it was like in the 300s. So I just didn't trade US30 or NASDAQ last night. I did trade UJ. So what I've been doing, guys, is I've been just looking on like on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and 8 hour. I'm looking for the overall trend. And then if I see an entry, I'll typically take it. I'm just like, I'm doing like swing trades on these. So there's one right here running for AUD USD. Not in the position. I was looking for it to pull back into drawdown. And then I was going to enter it late, but I'll wait a little longer. Looks like price is still pushing up. So I'm gonna let price push up right here. And then maybe later today, if I see some sort of reversal pattern like a V1, V2, then I'll hop in for a late entry. So I get in for a discount. But I've been taking these trades and just setting for getting them. Just major pairs, AUD USD, Euro USD. You guys can see here on all the Forex pairs, huge spikes to the downside, right, from that news last night. And then the opposite, of course. Over here for USD CAD, I'm looking for a buy signal over here. Probably take that for a buy. And I'm taking these with like a 1% risk. Well, a 1 to 3% risk, depending on like the type of trade. UJ, I'll probably take a 3% risk because it's a lot of I have better luck trading UJ and AUD USD. So I was going to hop into this for late entry, but it's all good. Took my profits on that and ran. Anyways, back to US30, guys. There's nothing for us to take here still. I mean, price is still going back and forth, as you guys can see over here. 2 hour, 1 hour, and 30 minutes, still pretty bearish. 10 minutes still bearish. 5 minutes starting to shift to the upside. It's neutral right now. And the 1 minute over here is starting to switch back to neutral as well. It was bullish earlier, now it's back to neutral. So we'll see what happens in the next couple minutes to see if this thing starts to push around. We got news over here at 7 o'clock. So hopefully by 7, when news comes out, it'll probably push price, you know, in a direction. Right now, there's no direction. Price is pretty much just going back and forth. Here's a clean chart right here. I'll go ahead and draw a resistance right there. So you guys can see there's not really much going on here. Price is just going pretty much back and forth at the moment. All right, so is this the correction back down? I don't know, we'll see. 5 minute over here, it's not a V1. It looks like it could have been a V1, but it's not on the same level. So not quite. 1 minute over here. Yeah, Maddie said fake down, fake up, and drop. Not sure if this is the actual reversal yet. Yeah, I don't see any variations over here yet. So already reversal pattern. So I don't know if this will be it yet, but see if it does reverse from this point, it's going to correct back to opening price. That's where I see it going. But it's got to be patient. Huge wicks on these candles, though. As you guys can see, a lot of uncertainty, big wicks on the bottom, big wicks on the top. Not exactly the type of market you want to trade in, because this just means price can go either way. So I'm expecting a breakout to happen at some point here. Breakout to the bottom, breakout to the top. Not exactly sure, but that's kind of what I see playing out over here. Let's see, I'm scrolling up real quick. Geelongton, I'm going to use a lowered lot size and take rejection off pivot sells. Personal plan for the day or days like this. You can see it touch that previous low in higher time frame. Yeah, no, exactly. I can see that too, Geelong. So yeah, no, if you guys are looking to still trade, even though like you're in a crazy market like this. I mean, the best possible way of trading this is to use a smaller lot size, because expect slippage to happen in the market. And with the with the slippage moving around, you can easily get like spiked way past your stop loss. So that's the one thing that you guys want to be careful about. If you guys are using a big lot size, like say if you're using 100 lot, like what I typically use, if there's a slippage of at least 100 pips, your stop loss can go past 100 pips, 100, like 1,000 loss, if not more. So if you're using a big lot size and a big stop loss, you can get really close to hitting your daily loss for the day. So just be careful with that. Especially for very volatile days like this, it's probably best to lower your lot size a little bit or tighten your stop loss. I mean, lower your lot size or tighten your stop loss, because this type of movement could like easily, and like what Kenny said earlier. So Kenny said his MT4 froze on him. If that happened to you guys, that'd be a really bad situation, especially if you're like really tight. Like if your stop loss is like at 500 pips and you have a 100 lot trade, if you hit your stop loss, it's going to go past 5,000. So you want to be careful. You want to make sure you're on a proper account size with the lot size that you're using. If you're using a 100K account, guys, don't use 100 lots. I'm using 100 lots because I'm on a 200K account. So just make sure that you guys understand that. Let's see. Veshin said your chart compared to mine is a bit laggy. I wonder if it's just a stream. Yeah, it's just a stream. If you're on the YouTube, the streams, I mean, if you go on any YouTube, it's always delayed. So if you're on the Zoom, it's real time, but it seems like you're on the YouTube version. So your stream is delayed by 10 to 30 seconds. That's why people are on the Zoom, because the Zoom is real time. I do my live stream through the Zoom, and then it just gets auto streamed to YouTube. That's why YouTube's a little delayed, because it's not directly to YouTube. So Gary said volume has died down, waiting for the news at 7 p.m. or sorry, 7 a.m., 7 Eastern, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for too, Gary, because we're going to see if price starts to finally find its direction after that. You can see the big correction right here to the downside, not necessarily a confirmation of it coming down yet. You can see that this candle here has huge wicks on both sides, big wick rejecting off the top pivots, and then a big wick rejecting off the lower pivots down here as well. Yeah, Veshin, it's just a little delayed on YouTube. I mean, it's not super delayed, but it is delayed. So you did identify that properly on the YouTube channel. Jacob said shorted EU and GU this morning. Nice. Yeah, no, great move on that, Jacob. You timed that properly. Taking the EU and GU position. Because I probably wouldn't have identified that sell. I mean, not yet, because I mean, it looks like, or maybe I would have, because looking over here on Friday from last week, it was bearish. The 4-hour was bearish. What was it? But you cut it from the high point. So you actually got in really good. I mean, you probably had a different analysis. You identified a resistance up there. But for me, since I trade momentum, I typically don't trade that way. I wait for the confirmation of price to shift first. Also depends on like what time frame you're trading on. But no, great cash on that. Jacob. Yeah, because I typically, if I'm trading Forex, I trade on the 4-hour. So, I mean, depending, well, there's a V1 variation right here. So, I mean, maybe I would have looked for a sell here too. So there's a double body right here. So depending on like where I was looking for entry, if I was trading this last night, or I guess morning for you because you're on different time zone. Yeah, I probably would have looked for a possible sell here, but I probably wouldn't have entered just yet. Yeah, no, definitely, Jacob. That'd be great. But yeah, no, nice catch on that trade there for that sell. I knew UJ was going to drop because UJ was already bearish. So that's why I took it for a sell. That's why you can see over here from my trade that I took here, I was already looking for a sell because it was bearish across the time frames. Like for me, it seems like the way that you trade, Jacob, you kind of get in a little earlier. For me, I like to wait for confirmation, which I think your way is actually better for Forex because like you get to catch the initial start of the trend. For me, I kind of jump in like on the second leg. Like when price comes down, I hop in on the retracement. I just like being sure. I'd rather be sure than risky. That's why I trade with a 1-to-1 risk reward for Forex as well. Because it's just a different trading style. All right, back to US30, guys. There's nothing going on here yet. Price is still kind of going back and forth, but looks like the 1-hour is starting to make its way back to the downside. So this right here is actually a V2 variation on the 5-minute. We had a high over here with the green candle. The following candle right here was a strong red candle, and price is starting to come down. So this was a reversal pattern right here. Looks like price is coming back down to retest opening price. So target price point is going to be this blue line right here. That's going to be opening price. Let's see. Satyam is asking, might I have your Zoom link? Delay on YouTube. Yeah, if you want access to the Zoom, guys, just go on the website. Go to kodikaitrades.com and then click on live trading room right here. This will give you access to the Zoom link. If you want access to the indicators and strategies, click on this right here. If you want free access to just the videos, click on this one right here. Unlock your free access. That's how you'll get access to pretty much everything. And there goes your correction back down to opening price right there. So guys, whenever you guys know where price is already going, like for example, we already knew price was going to be bearish, right? Because the 30-minute, 1-hour, and 2-hour was all bearish. So since we knew price was bearish, whenever we see the reversal pattern actually played out right here on the 5. When this here closed, this was a reversal pattern for price to come back down. And then from there, price came right back to opening price. That's always going to be the correction price point. Looking over here on the other time frames, the 10-minute is also producing a confirmation of a reversal pattern as well. So right here, we have a high with a green candle, and then we have a strong red candle right here. If this here closes in the next 2 minutes, this is going to be the same pattern that came up on the 5-minute. This is a reversal pattern. So when you guys see something like this, either a double body, double wick off the high low, of course, you would have to use my indicator to identify where the proper high lows are, because a lot of these can be deceiving. You guys can see here my indicator for the high lows right there. Identify the high. This was a V1 variation, swung right back to the bottom. With this over here, on the 10-minute, this is the same pattern that we're looking at right here on the 5. So high over here with the green candle, strong red candle. This is going to confirm a reversal down back to the downside. And I think this will continue to drop lower and lower from where it's currently at. There was an entry right here that came up. It was a momentum scalp. Unfortunately, we couldn't take it because it was at the sessions. I mean, sorry, not the sessions. It was at the news price. So red flag. This was also a momentum scalp variation. So it looks like we're starting to get some sort of direction here, which is a good thing. This is kind of what we've been waiting for pretty much the entire day. So, all right, we got news coming up right here in 2 minutes. We'll see if this ends up we'll see where this ends up going. All right, so price is kind of just bouncing around where opening price is now. You want to be careful trading on opening price because right here, there can be a correction back to the upside, or it can just continue dropping from where it's currently at. There's no real confirmation as to like where price will likely go. I mean, it's a toss up right here with where price is currently at. And Maria, how's it going? Let's see, Martha said she took the sell back to open. Here's Martha's profits, total profit of 1,030 for the day. Nice work, Martha. Yeah, great work right there. Here's Maddie's profits for the day, current profit of 1,205 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. Eunice posted his profits as well, set a total profit of 226. Nice work right there, Eunice. He said price was smooth in pre-market, took one sell, hit his TP. Great work. All right, guys, perfect work right here. Vincent over here, some profits as well. Total profit of 1,440. Nice work, Vincent. Yeah, solid TP right there, full TP of the green strip. So you caught that momentum scalp. The trade that Vincent took right here was the sell signal. So the sell signal that I mentioned right here, this is where Vincent took it. It was at the news price, but Vincent still took it anyways and went straight to his profit target. That was one I would probably take as well, but I'm just not looking to take anything too risky at the moment. Like typically I would take this here because I saw the reversal pattern. So we have a reversal right here. And then this right here would have been a confirmation of the drop back to opening price. So if I was to take that there, I think that'd be easy enough to catch for at least, 100 pips, if not 250 pips right there. So we got the news candle right here. I'm going to mark up news price. It's right there. Oh, that pink. And I'm going to turn this off. All right, so the reversal patterns here played out. Reversal pattern on the 10, reversal pattern on the 5. I think price might be making its way back to the downside. It's just a matter of time until we can confirm that. We need price to be below the opening price, but you can see right here that it keeps bouncing back around where it's currently at. It's near opening price. So this blue line right here is an area of manipulation. But if price stays below here, I'm expecting it to continue dropping lower and lower. Yeah, so Jacob, I read your message. I know it was a long message, so I kind of read it like when I was half asleep when I woke up this morning. So Jacob was mentioning to me how like some companies are doing like they're passing people's challenges and they're trading for them. So that's kind of similar to what we're doing. I'm not sure if you've been around, but I'm like we're in the process of creating our own prop firm. So like basically, it's not like FTMO where you can just pay and sign up. It's a program where we're picking people and mentoring them and grooming them to be traders like how we trade here on the live session. So yeah, I'm not sure if you like were around during that time. We've been talking about it for like the past couple of months now, or maybe like past half a year. We're gonna be mentoring like certain people that we want to work with to trade exactly how I trade here in the live session. We're all just going to be trading the same stuff in the morning, but they're going to be basically masters at trading this way. What Jacob was referring to was like, there's some companies out there that will trade, they'll pass people's challenges for a fee, and then they'll continue trading their account, and they'll take a percentage of the profits. We're doing the same thing, but we're not trading for them. Like we're actually training people how to trade the way that we're trading. But we're also taking a percentage of the profits because we're basically mentoring them, right? We're basically guaranteeing these people success at trading. So I think the way that I'm doing it is a lot better. It's stable. It's like something that will last a long time. Because if you teach someone how to trade these strategies, and what's going to happen when that becomes official is that I'm no longer going to make these strategies available to the public. Like if you guys are here right now, you guys are fine. You guys have access to the indicators, the strategies and stuff like that. But once our prop firm is fully up and running, the only people who can use the strategies are going to be people who are trading for the prop firm. That's what's going to keep people within the circle. So yeah, Jake, I'm not sure if you were around during that time, but the thing that you mentioned, I was going to respond to you, but it was a long response. So I'll just respond to you on here. But that's basically what we're working towards. It's more of a legitimate prop firm. It's not where anybody could sign up. We have to actually want to work with you. You have to actually want to learn and get this stuff down. Well, we're not just like, okay, you can pay a fee and then learn our strategies and stuff. But we literally we're going to handpick people to trade for our firm so that we can make sure that the relationship goes both ways, right? We basically guarantee the person that we're training to be a great trader. And then we're also teaching them how to create multiple accounts and stuff like that. Yeah, no, you're fine, Jacob. I was like, I woke up, and I read like half your message, and then I kind of went back to sleep, and then I like woke up and I read the rest of it, and I was going to respond, but then yeah, it's just I forgot. Yeah, Jacob said, I think the service my friend is using is illegal. Yeah, that's not so the thing that your friend is doing, FTMO, like when you sign the agreement, that's what I'm like kind of curious about with what your friend did, Jacob, because you know how you mentioned that they passed the challenge and then they give back to you, like you have to sign a contract for that. Like the thing is, and the way that FTMO tracks when other people are trading your accounts is that they track your IP address. And then typically if you're using a copier, the copier leaves a stamp on it. And then also on MC4, there's like there's things that they leave traces where the trades are coming from. So that's why I was kind of curious, like, how are they able to do it? Because I've done it before. I've tried to do it and FTMO has caught me like 2 or 3 times. So that's why I don't do it anymore, because I don't want to lose my accounts with them. So, I mean, if it's working for your friend, great, but it's not allowed on the FTMO platform. They have ways of tracing IP addresses. They have ways of tracing entry times, exit times. So like it's almost impossible to use a copier. The only way to do it would be to manually trade. But even if they were to manually trade it, FTMO has their risk team identify when like the same IP addresses are used. So, gotcha. Yeah, so we use a VPS. The problem with the VPS though is that there could be connection issues, right? As long as the risk is fine. I mean, it's cool because they're not going to hit their daily drawdown. But I've seen other people use VPSs before, and sometimes the servers go down. It just happens sometimes, and they end up blowing the account because they'll try to exit the trade and the trade won't exit. But yeah, I mean, if it works for your friend, great. I don't think that's something that will last very long though. The technology that FTMO uses is very smart. They're always evolving with their technology. So when better technology comes out, they're going to be better at tracing stuff like that. I've tried it before, trust me. I've tried to trade for my mom's account, family's account, stuff like that. And we're living in different addresses in different cities, and we try to use a VPS, it doesn't work. They're able to track that at some point. So yeah, exactly. You got to have dedicated servers. Like you got to actually have someone that's actually handling the servers. You can't use something that's like far off, right? Like a VPS that's like located in like the Bermuda Islands or something like that. Yeah, no, yeah. If I was your friend, I'd just milk it for as long as I can, and then also maybe create his own accounts to trade himself if he could. Yeah, because I was trying to do that initially. I was like, okay, I'll add like a bunch of copiers onto my account, and I'll have a bunch of FTMOs, and it worked for like a month, and then they found out, and they were like, okay, we're gonna ban you, and I was like, no. They let me keep one account, but they banned the other ones. Let's see. Arsalan's asking why I'm ranging in the first bar area on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much ranging across the board right now. So looking over here on the 5-minute, Arsalan's right. Like it is ranging right here on the 5-minute. I'll just go ahead and maximize this chart. There's not really too much going on right here. So I'm kind of waiting for price to confirm whether it's going to go down or whether it's going to go up. But right now it's pretty much just ranging back and forth. Right down the middle, right? And you can see right here too, it's right in between the pivots. So the first requirement for pretty much all the strategies that we apply, guys, is we need to confirm the overall trend, right? Let's leave this up for now. It's also ranging right here on the 10. It's right in between the pivots. So the way to look at this here is like whenever price is in between the pivots and pivots go sideways, this is pretty much in a strong range. We either need price to be above or below. So let me go over here real quick and put the requirements for the strategies again. So the first requirement for pretty much all the strategies that we're applying, momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, and momentum scalp, we need to confirm the overall trend, right? So step 1, confirm overall trend on the 1-minute, 5-minute, and 10-minute time frame. So with that said, we're looking for a confirmation of overall trend. We don't have that right now, right? Because if you look over here on the 1 minute, price is bullish. Price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. Looking over here on the 5 minute, price is still bearish because it's below the pivots. Trend meter is red and pivots are going sideways. So this is more of a bearish neutral bias with regard to the trend. And then lastly, here on the 10 minute, price is obviously still bearish, but it's more of a bearish neutral as well because price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, but the pivots are going sideways. So with that said, we don't have an overall bias. In order for us to take any entries here, we need to have the overall bias. That's going to be the first requirement for every strategy here, right? So we need confirm overall trend, confirm overall trend, confirm overall trend. Until we can confirm that, there's not going to be any entries for us here. That's why I haven't taken any trades. The main thing with these trading strategies, guys, and with scalping is that you guys got to stick to the game plan, right? If this is my game plan where I'm focusing on 3 strategies here, I need to confirm the requirements. If the first requirement isn't met, I can't move on to the next one. So I can't take entry until this one's met. So, the key to this game is really discipline. It's discipline and consistency. Of course, I could have taken a couple trades here and made a couple like speculative moves here or there. Like what other people have made here. A couple people made a couple profits. You guys can see Vincent made a profit over here taking a sell. Eunice made a profit here taking a sell. I could have hopped into these trades as well because we identify those reversals on the 5 and 10, right? We had a reversal pattern right here with the V2 and another reversal pattern right here with the V2 as well. So I could have taken that for a quick 100 pips or 200 pips or whatever it is. But the thing with my trading on this live session is that I'm focused on these 3 strategies right here. So unless I see these right here, I'm not going to take any trades. I might take some speculative trades from here and there, but for the most part, this is the main focus. So it's just me being disciplined, right? If you guys have problems with over trading and revenge trading, you guys got to find a game plan, whether it's to sticking to 1 or 2 strategies or all 3. If you just stick to these strategies here, I think you guys will find a lot of success because they don't come up very often, but when they do come up, they hit pretty often, right? Like you guys saw my profits from yesterday. Today, I haven't taken any trades, but yesterday I made like, how much did I make? Like about 20,000, right? Because all my accounts here added up. So each account locked in 4,300, 4,000, 4,000, etc. You just got to wait for good days like this. Today's not one of those days, so I'm kind of just sitting back, but days like this will happen. They come up like pretty often. At least a few days a week, you'll have something like that. But right now, there just isn't anything for us to take. So I'm just trying to instill some discipline and consistency within you guys. I think the main problem why people fail at trading is because they keep over trading, right? They overtrade or they just take random entries with no requirements. You can't trade like that. Like you could get lucky here and there. I mean, I'm sure that you guys got lucky from time to time taking random trades, but I'm sure that, that luck's going to run out and you start to take losses and it's going to add up over time. So realistically, you guys have to stick to the game plan. Let's see, Veshin's asking, so when you start the prop firm, we'll stop going live? No, I'm still going to go live. I'm still going to trade myself. It's just people won't have access to the indicators. So when the prop firm starts up, guys, everything's going to be pretty much the same because I still like to trade. It's not like I don't like trading, like trading with you guys here is fun to me. It's kind of like we just hang out. Like I don't have a job, so I don't really have I don't have coworkers to go hang out with or talk to during my work hours. So this is kind of like my job, right? I'm like trading with you guys here on the live session. We're just hanging out. It's kind of like being at work, but not actually working. So, yeah, because I haven't worked a job in like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. I used to be an attorney before this. So I was working as a lawyer. I was always at the office, hanging out with my coworkers and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore. So I haven't done that. But the only way I hang out with people is like on these live sessions. So I'm still going to keep doing these live sessions. But of course, my main focus is going to be on the prop traders. So the people who are trading for my firm, obviously I'll be like focusing on them, making sure that they're on point, but we'll still be having these live sessions in the morning. It's just, I'll probably have a different chat with just them. Like I probably won't be talking to you guys like I'm doing here now. Like you'll see me trade, but I'm not going to be like answering questions and stuff like that. Let me see if there's anything else over here. Shalon said MFF is a little more lax when it comes to that. That makes sense. Yeah, Vincent's asking, is a 5 minute showing a V2 variation? Let me go to the 5 minute real quick. So looking over here on the 5 minute right now, Vincent, it was probably showing earlier, but it's not showing right now. So a V2 variation would be this pattern right here. So basically a high with the green candle and then a strong red candle after it, meaning little to no wick on this red candle. So this here is a V2 variation. This is not a V1 or so you got to wait to see if it closes. So if this here closes, it has about a minute left on it, right, Vince? If it closes a red candle, but the wick right here is like really small, like there's like no wick, then yeah, it would be a V2. Still has a minute left on it, so it's got a long time. It's got not a long time, but it's got some time before it closes. Jacob said, Sean, you're the richest unemployed in Guyana. That's fun. I mean, trading with you guys live here, this actually helps me. So a lot of people always ask me like, why do I trade live? Because you don't see too many people trade live like this every day, right? For free. Like I do this completely free on YouTube. You guys can just hop on my live session and watch me trade live every morning. Trading live actually has helped me because I used to be an overtrader and a revenge trader as well. Trading live with you guys kind of it forces me to talk out my thoughts. So like right here, I was explaining to Vince, if this closes with a strong red candle, this is a possible V2 variation. It's a reversal pattern. When you're trading by yourself solo, you don't really talk about it, right? You're always in your head. So that's why you make a lot of mistakes, because if you're not talking out your ideas, you're kind of just taking random trades. So what I do recommend is, I mean, you don't have to be talking to me directly, but you can be typing in on the chat. If you guys see anything on the chart, type up your ideas, because the more that you think about it and you play them out, the more confident you'll be with the trades that you decide to take. So these live sessions actually help me more than you guys think, because it prevents me from taking stupid trades, because I take stupid trades all the time before, and and I wouldn't know like why I would make those mistakes. But now that I'm here explaining like my whole thought process to you guys, like when I'm like, okay, if I'm looking for a reversal here, I'm looking for a V2, V1 variation, right? If I'm looking for that and that never comes, then I just never take the entry. But in the past, I would just make shit up. Like I would look at the chart and I'd say, okay, this looks like a reversal pattern. And then I would take a trade and I would lose and I wouldn't understand. But here in the live session, I have to actually tell you guys like, okay, this looks like a reversal pattern. If it closes, then I'll probably take it for a quick little push. And that's typically what I do. Today, I said I haven't taken anything because the market's just moving a little crazy and I haven't taken anything. So yeah, what I do recommend too is if you guys have a problem with over trading or revenge trading, you should always speak your analysis out loud. Either speak it out loud or type it in the chat. That'll typically help with understanding what you're doing and actually like analyzing before you take any stupid trade. Because it's really easy to take a trade. Like a couple of people have messaged me and they had to stop trading on MT Forex. They said it's too easy to enter trades. Like for example, with the quick trade manager, if you hit buy or sell, it automatically takes a trade and sets your TP stop loss. It could be a good thing or a bad thing, because if because it's easy if like you're taking a proper trade, but if you're not thinking properly or using an analysis, it's easy for you to just get in and then getting caught in the trade. So here's price coming down right here, guys. I think that reversal pattern that me and Vince looked at on the 5 played out, right? So it's actually coming down right now. Yeah. So the V2 variation came up right here, Vince, and it's starting to come down from where it's currently at. So there goes a reversal pattern that we were kind of waiting for. And I could expect price to probably come back to opening price down below. Sorry, guys, I'm just reading a message right now. All right, so we got a couple of profits over here. Let me go take a look. So we got Kip over here with a total profit of 1,698. Nice work, Kip. His Cancun profits right here, trading from his phone. Solid work right there, Kip. So Kip's currently at 1,698 for the day. Right work, Kip. Scrolling up over here, we have Deswell, total profit of 9,058 for the day. Great work, Deswell. Taking those push to the upside. We have Fern over here, total profit of 3,044 for the day. Nice work, Fern. So as you guys can see, I haven't taken any trades, but a lot of people are just taking trades off my analysis. I haven't taken trades myself, but a lot of people here are just taking trades, listening to what I'm mentioning on the chat. Zach over here said he had a loss today, but he made it back. He's now done. Total profit of 6,950. So great work right here by Zach. So this is the consistency that I want you guys to have, right? If you see Zach's profits over here, he's up 6,900 for the day. Yesterday, he was up 3,190. And the day before that, he was up 5,043. So great work right there, Zach. Other than that, see, we have Deswell here, 9,000 for the day. We have Larishna, total profit of 328 for the day. Nice work, Larishna. Here's Vincent, total profit on this account, 75.15. Vincent took the sell right here, momentum scalp, full TP. And then he took another trade over here on his other account, total profit of 532. So solid profits right there. Vincent, 532 and 75.15 right there. So yeah, if you guys have any more profits post up, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, we'll see where price ends up going from here. Nice. Jacob said he's up 2% for the day, done. And now he's here to learn. Yeah, no, definitely, Jacob. Solid profits for the day. I haven't taken anything yet, guys. I don't know if I'll take anything today. I mentioned at the beginning of the session that I wasn't planning. I probably not take anything today because of the market conditions. And that's just me being careful. Because, for me personally, any day that I don't end with a loss is a winning day for me, whether it be for profit or whether I make no profit that day, it's still a win for me because it doesn't really affect my account, right? I think that's the mindset that a lot of you guys need to go into. You don't have to be making like $5,000, $10,000 a day, right? Trading. You don't have to do that. It's not required. If you make zero a day, that's actually a win in my book because majority of people are not consistent and they're usually losing every day. So if you even go out with a break even for the day, I think that's still a win because it just keeps you at that same level and then you just continue climbing in that account, over time. So just keep in mind, we have news coming up right here in 10 minutes. Thanks, Vince, for the heads up. Let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, Deshaun said pivots won't shift. Can't get any entries. Yeah, because if you look over here, guys, there's still no overall trend, right? So I'm still looking for the trend to confirm. The 10-minute here is still kind of neutral bearish. The 5-minute here is very neutral now. It's not even, the trend meter is not red anymore. Price is in between the pivots and going sideways. And the 1-minute over here is bullish. So until I get a confirmation of direction here, I'm not looking to take any trades. There just isn't any confirmation here. Scrolling up real quick, let's see. Question from Nadia. Nadia is asking, could you explain the difference between a V1 and a V2 variation? They're pretty clear. Have you seen the video yet, Nadia? So if you guys want to learn that strategy, just go to the course over here. This is what the course looks like. You scroll down to the scalp strategies. To scalp strategies right here. There's a video for variation V1, variation V2, variation V3. They're going to be explained in detail right here for all of these three videos. I'll give you a quick rundown right here, Nadia, but I recommend you go back and actually watch the videos because the videos are meant to show you the requirements. The live sessions are meant to hone in on your understanding of the strategies, right? So I can show you how it's applied, but you should at least know the requirements because like telling the difference between the two are pretty much night and day. They're completely different requirements. So looking over here on the 5, let me see if I can find one over here real quick. Okay, so the one that just came up earlier, the difference between the V1 and V2 is that for the V1, you're looking for a double body or a double wick rejection, right? So like, for example, right here, this is a double body rejection off the high low. You can't just look at every double body because not every double body is going to be a reversal pattern. Like it can be in the middle of a range. And just because you get a double body doesn't mean it's a reversal pattern, right? So looking at this right here, this is a double body. The trend is bullish. So as you can see, this red candle, which has the high low on it, and this green candle right here next to it, it's a double body rejection, right? If you want to make sure you can choose a horizontal ray, use the magnet tool, click on the first bar, and you can see that they're on the same level. If you see this on the same level right here, this is a V1 variation. So double body rejection is a V1 variation to the upside, obviously, because the trend is bullish, so you'd be looking for a buy there. That's going to be a V1 variation. A different V1 variation is going to be a double wick. This one doesn't come up very often, but when it does come up, it's the same pattern. I don't see anything over here. So if I see one, I'll show you, but I just don't see anything here. for a double wick. These don't come up as often, but it's the same thing. Yeah, there's nothing here for a double wick. So I showed you pretty much the V1, it's a double wick or double body. The V2 is going to be this pattern right here. So for this pattern, you can see that they're not leveled, right? However, for the V2, you're looking for a high with a green candle and then a strong red candle following it. So for example, right here, high with the green candle, strong red candle right here. Wick on the bottom is not as big, so you can tell that it's a pretty strong candle. This is a reversal pattern for a V2. That's the difference. So V1 is double body, double wick. V2 is a high with a green candle with a strong red candle, or vice versa. If you have a low, so you have a low with a red candle with a lower low there, and then you have a strong green candle right here. This is another V2. So this one over here is actually a V2 and a V1 because it's a double body, plus there's a low over here with the red candle, and the following candle next to it is green with a strong green candle. So with that said, that's a V2, also a V1. So yeah, guys, just a reminder, if you guys are new here, I know Nadia, you're new, so it's fine. You probably haven't seen the video yet, but if you guys are new here and you guys want to learn these strategies, you know, it's completely free on the course. Like, all you have to do is pull up the course and pull up the video. All the videos are there and they're all available to everybody. You don't have to pay for this stuff. I pretty much provide all my strategies completely free, all my videos completely free. I mean, obviously, if you want to use my indicators, you'll have to pay for that, but the videos are free here. So if you guys want to learn the videos and learn the strategies, make sure to check out the website. Just go to kodikaitrades.com. This is the website. Click on unlock your free access, and then you'll get access to all of the videos there. Yeah, no problem, Nadia. Yeah, I know it's a lot of videos, so you probably haven't gone to those videos yet. So if you want to learn those, you know, feel free. I don't use those as standalone strategies anymore. I typically use them as a confluence. But they are, I mean, they're all useful. Everything still works. All right, guys, so we still don't have a confirmation of trend yet here. I mean, trend is still pretty bearish right now, but price hasn't really come down far enough. We had a possible momentum scalp right here, but the problem with this is that it's right at, it's at the sessions and opening price. So right here, you can see we have a sell signal. It's a gold bar because there's a sell signal across all the other time frames. This right here, let's see, if we use a 1030 split, this momentum scalp would have hit, but it was really close to the sessions. I mean, not sessions, news price. Typically, I use a 2550, but this one right here is for sure going to have to cut through the news price, right? So this would be too risky of a move for me personally to want to take because it's like right there. I mean, it's probably going to hit TP, but this is a red flag. So while this is an entry here for momentum scalp, it would still fall under my red flags. And there you go, full TP if anybody would have taken that. So if you guys would have taken it, great. For me personally, you guys know how I trade. I'm very risk averse, so I don't like to take these trades here that are like in line with my red flags. If I had a better confirmation, I would have taken it, but there just wasn't a better confirmation here. If I had a V1 variation up here and then a momentum scalp, I probably would have taken it. But, you know, it just didn't line up with my analysis. And when I don't feel comfortable about a position, I just don't take it. So looking at this here, it's starting to look like we have a bearish bias now. So looking over here on the 1 minute, price is below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. Looking over here on the 5 minute, we kind of have the same thing here. Price is below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are now angling down. And we also have a bearish trend here on the 10 minute. So now that we have a confirmation of an overall trend, we can possibly start looking for entries here. The only problem that we have to worry about is that price is right at these red flags. It's at opening price and at news. We also have news coming up right here in about 3 minutes. So just be cautious when looking for entries here. So as you guys can see right here, you know, I'm like explaining these strategies to you guys, and you guys are able to take these entries if you'd like. You don't have to take them. You know, personally, I wouldn't recommend it if I'm not taking it, because if I'm not taking it, then I'm considering it risky. If I knew it was going to be a for sure trade, I would have taken it. But for me today, I'm just being a little cautious and just waiting for something to play out. So looking over here at the CNBC news, looking at all the indices, they're all down pretty heavy still. So the Dow's currently down 550 points, S&P's down 63 points, Nasdaq's down 149 points, Russell 2000 is down 42 points, and the VIX is currently up 15%. So with that said, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the market. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, Dijon said need 4/3 for my SR rejections. Let me check real quick. So I'll check the SRs over here. So there's a strategy over here that that Dijon's using. It's called the SR rejection. Looks like this one over here could have been an entry. Dijon, this red one right here. I think that would have been 100 pips right there, right? Yeah. Would have hit your TP. Oh, you got to wait for the pivots to switch. Yeah. So this is another strategy that Dijon's using. A lot of the older members know this strategy. It's a strategy that we use a lot during the summer. It's called the SR rejection scalp. So if you guys want to learn that strategy as well, it's in the course. Where is it at? I got to clean this up. I keep saying I'm going to clean this up, but I never cleaned it up. Yeah, so first you want to confirm the trend, make sure that the red is over the green. This is basically what Dijon's looking for. He's looking for pivot 4 to be over pivot 3, and then he's looking for rejection off the SR zone with a moderate red candle. So he's just waiting for the trend here to confirm, and he's going to look to take it. If you guys want to learn that strategy is also in the course. You scroll down to the bottom. It's above scalp strategies. Where's the scalp strategies at? I think it's like somewhere around here. Yeah, it's right there. SR rejection scalp. It's a strategy that we use a lot during the summer because the market moves kind of sideways. So it's good for ranging markets for the most part. And if you guys remember that, we typically would turn off the other pivots, so it'd be easier to see. So I don't know if this is how you're doing it, Dijon, but if you remember, this is how we used to do it back in the day. It just depends. If you guys can use it, it's fine. You don't have to turn it off. Yeah, Maddie mentioned market might just go back and forth the rest of the session. That London drop made it overextended. Yeah, that's exactly why I was holding off on taking entries today, guys, because that big drop during London kind of just screwed price up over here because this London drop made price drop so heavily that price needed to correct back up, but it didn't necessarily correct all the way back up. It's kind of just going back and forth. Yeah, there's just nothing for us to take right now. So, okay, we still have a bearish bias here. That's the good thing. The bad thing is that we don't have a confirmation of anything right now. So looking at this here, we're looking for a buy signal. The buy signal is going to provide entry for a momentum scalp failure. However, the problem with this here is that it's going to be right at the session or right at the news price. So even though price pushes up from where it's currently at, let me draw news price right here. News price happened right here. The good thing is that it's all in the same area. So there's news price right there, delete that. All right, so you guys can see the mess right here, right? Whenever price gets down to this area, price gets highly manipulated, right? Price came up, came down, a lot of manipulation right here, came back up, came back down to this point, and a lot of manipulation right here. This is why I don't trade around these horizontal lines. Basically, if you guys see any of these lines that go left to right, if price is near any of these points, this is where a lot of manipulation happens. That's why if you look over here at my red flags, so let me pull up the red flags again. Red flags when to avoid trades: when price is near sessions, price is near opening price, price is near news price, when candle prior to entry is too large, or lastly, price is ranging. So whenever price gets near any of these horizontal lines, basically any of the lines that go from left to right, this pink line, this blue line, this purple line, this red line, this green line, if price is near any of those points, I don't take any trades around those areas unless I have a really strong confidence that price is going to continue dropping further. So those are the only times that I will take trades that are at the red flags. There's a possible momentum scalp right here. As you can see, there's a pending sell signal. It's not red, it's gold. but it is red. So let me go over here and just turn this off. We have a sell signal there, sell signal there. If this closes with the sell signal, it's technically going to be a momentum scalp entry. However, it's going to be invalid. And if it touches any of the horizontal lines, it's going to invalidate it as a red flag. And it did. It touched the blue line right there. So that's going to be opening price. Red flag is to avoid trades when price is touching news price and opening price, which is currently touching both right now. Yeah. So obviously I wouldn't take any of these trades here. All right. So there's a sell signal right here again. So if the sell signal closes, it's technically a momentum scalp, but there's a red flag. As I mentioned, these red flags over here, I don't take any trades when they're around those areas. This is an optional requirement though. So you don't have to follow this, but this is what I follow because I realized that whenever I lost trades, it was whenever it was at a red flag. So I'll mark it up for you guys here, but I'm not going to take the trade. I probably use a 25-50 split on this. Not in this position, guys, just marking it up for you guys for whoever wants to take it. Looks like it's about to hit TP. Yeah, Dejan also mentioned that it's a high-low scalp as well. So price broken close below the low right here at this point. So it also doubles up as a high-low scalp. Actually doubles up as like a triple confluence too, it looks like. It's a pivot scalp, high-low scalp, momentum scalp. So this here will probably play out. I'm not taking it though. As I mentioned, guys, it's touching the red flags over here. There's not enough confluences for me to take this trade here. If I had a better confluence over a reversal pattern, so if I had a V1 variation or V2 up here, then I would possibly take it, but we didn't have that there. So I'm not looking to take the trade. And Matt, as Maddie said, it can retrace the whole candle. So another red flag here is that the candle prior to entry is too large. This one right here, right? A lot of red flags right there. So good thing I didn't take it because as you guys can see, it pulled back. So again, guys, this is another reason why I don't take any trades around red flags. So the red flags that were here was that price was near news price. Price was near opening price. There was actually 3 red flags here. And candle prior to entry was too large. So as you guys can see, this is why I don't take these trades. You can see these other entries. So there's another momentum scalp over here that played out perfectly fine. So it doesn't always play out that way. This one over here played out and went straight to prop target because there was no drawdown. So price closed right there. It would have had to cut into the sessions right here, not the sessions, news price, but it still would have hit TP. For this one right here, there's just too many red flags. For this one, it was just news price. For this one, it was news price, opening price, and candle prior to entry was just too large. So, but it did hit for 10 pips, like Maddie said. So again, guys, there's an example. I just want to show you guys an example of a red flag and why I don't take it. This right here was a perfect example. So not one that I would have taken, didn't take the trade, sat out of it. All right, so right here, as you guys can see, a possible V2 variation. There's a high with the green candle. And if this here closes with a red candle with little to no wick on the bottom end, this could be a possible V2 variation. Hey, Brock, how's it going? Yeah, you weren't kidding, Brock. You do have to come in like super late because you have work, right? After daylight savings. Seems like your login time now is like 7:30 every day. It's all good. I know you'll make it work though, knowing you. Man, this market sucks, but it's okay. Market sucks, but I'm not in the market, so it doesn't really affect me too much. I'm just watching, looking for any possible entries here. So if price pushes lower, so this is what I'm looking for. If price pushes lower and we get an entry, then at that point, I will possibly take an entry. So like, for example, price is down below here. If price pushes up and continues dropping lower from this point, then yes, I'll probably take some entries down here. But I'm not looking to take any entries up here. It's just not a good area to trade in. Yeah, Brock said, yeah, all good until we start doing the breakout V1. Yeah, the breakout today played out perfect, Brock. I'll probably start looking at the breakouts in the morning again, guys. I haven't been looking at them because the volatility was kind of low for like the past couple of months, but volatility has been pretty high lately. So, I mean, we'll see. The breakout used to be like one of everyone's favorite trades because it would always get straight to TP like super quickly, or even if you wanted to pull out early, you could have, right? The risk wasn't even that bad either because it was a 500 pip TP stop loss for a 1-to-1. So, yeah, you know, maybe I'll play around with the breakout because the breakout's been pretty solid these past couple of days. Even against the trend, it's been pretty solid. And Maddie said 10-minute is wicking up top, 5 minutes wicking off the pivots up top as well. Let me check real quick. Yeah, we got a wick rejection here off the 5, wick rejection here off the 10. If that's the case, and you get another wick rejection here off the 1, price is probably going to drop from here. Probably drop at least 100 pips. Not one that I would take, but for a speculative move, this will probably drop at least 100 pips. I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not taking it, of course, but mark it up for you guys. Looks like this is going to hit TP. Not quite. Jean said possible SR. Right, Jean. Yeah, no. This market is super choppy right now, guys. So just be careful with these entries. I mean, you guys are free to take any trades that I'm marking up. So right here, I marked up this right here. This wasn't an actual entry, but I knew it was going to come down. So you can see right here, I saw the wick rejection off the 5, wick rejection off the 10, wick rejection off the 1. I mentioned it'll drop at least 100 pips, and that's exactly what it did, right? Price dropped down in TP right there. So if you guys took this trade here, I marked it up for you guys, gave you guys the analysis. I didn't take a trade myself, so obviously it's not going to count as a trade. The only trades that count on these live sessions, guys, are the ones that I actually take. So I haven't taken any trades today. There's no official entries. I haven't taken anything. But you guys can see here that my analysis played out perfect, right? Maddie identified it too. Wick rejection, wick rejection, wick rejection right here. Odds of it dropping at least 100 pips, very likely. And that's what it did. Went straight to profit target. Let's see, question from Martha. Martha's asking which indicator has the dotted lines. I don't have them on my chart. Which one are you talking about? These up here, Martha, the red and green ones? Because there's a lot of lines on the chart. Probably better off if you identify them as color. Which color are you talking about? Purple, red, green. If you're talking about these up here that are dotted, these are the sessions indicator. These aren't an indicator down here. This is just news price. So the pink is news price, blue is opening price, purple is sessions, red sessions, green sessions. Yeah, so pink's news price. That's not an indicator. That's what I've been drawing when I see news on the charts. So what I do, these dotted lines right here, well, I guess these are dashed lines. That's why I was confused because you said dotted and I thought you were talking about the sessions because the sessions are dotted, but these right here are dashed. So the pink lines are news price and then blue is going to be opening price. So there's no indicator for that. You have to draw that yourself manually. So like the way I do that news right there is because I looked at the calendar earlier this morning. I do this every day pre-market, like right before the market opens, I mark up news price. There was news here at 5:30. That's why I marked up news right there at 5:30, which was right here. So there was news over here at 5:30. That's where I marked up that pink line. If it's a green candle, that means price starts from the bottom. If it's a red candle, it means price starts from the top. So I marked up news from 5:30. We had 7 o'clock news over here. That happened earlier today. Right here at 7. So this is a 7 o'clock candle. It's a green candle. So price started at the bottom right here, marked up the pink line. And then we had news over here at 7:30. So the news that just passed a little while ago, right over here. This green candle right here was news price. I draw that pink line right there. Yeah, no problem, Martha. Here, let's see. So Matt, if you guys are in the chat right now in the Zoom, Maddie and Dijon are talking about the SR rejection scalps. There's a couple here that just came up, it looks like. Yeah, there's a whole bunch that came up right here. Yeah, so not sure if you caught any of these, Dijon, but there's a couple right here that came up. So there's one right here. This red candle is a strong red candle or moderate, whatever you want to call it. That hit full TP right there. There's another one right here that happened right next to it. Full TP right there. Another one that happened right next to it right there. Full TP right there. And then the last one right here, full TP. So there's about like 4 or 5 entries of SR rejection scalps that came up right here. They all hit full TP. So again, guys, if you guys want to learn this strategy, this is one of our main strategies. So this is one of our staples that we use during the summer. It's working good right now because the market's been ranging pretty much all day. It's a ranging strategy. These strategies right here that we apply, these are all continuation strategies. So like for these over here, this is a reversal strategy, momentum scalp failure. These are continuation strategies. And the strategy that Dijon and Maddie have been discussing right here, the one that I just marked up. So I drew up all these zones right here using the SRV2 indicator. This draws rejection points for you. Basically, zones are like automatic support resistance. So what I did is I drew these zones over here, and the strategy that they were applying was called the SR rejection scalp. This right here, the 1 minute SR rejection strategy. If you guys want to learn that strategy, just pull up the course as I mentioned earlier. The course, the video for that's going to be right here. It's called SR rejection scalp strategy. You click on that right there, and it'll take you to the video. And this is how you'll watch the video explaining that strategy. So guys, just a reminder, all the videos are free. If you guys want to watch these videos and understand these strategies, just pull up the website, go to kodikaitrades.com right here. This is our website, kodikaitrades.com. Click on unlock your free access, and you'll have access to basically all of my strategies. Dijon said I can't do anything but laugh the pain away. I know, it would have been good. I mean, it seems like the SR rejection scalps have been hitting really well. So, I mean, maybe what I'll do in the future, because market's been ranging a lot, we'll just add that to our stable right here. We have 3 strategies that we're currently applying. I could probably add one more, which would be the SR rejection scalp. I'll just have to change up the requirements a little bit for that one, because I pretty much split it up into 2. I don't really need 2 requirements. I could probably just condense it into one criteria. Christian mentioned a high-low scalp that showed up. Yeah, high-low scalp that showed up right here as well. Yeah, I think that, so this high-low scalp right here lined up with the SR rejection scalp, Christian. That was the same one that Dijon and Tommy, Dijon and Maddie were looking at. All right, so there's no entries for us to take right here, guys. I mean, we do have the bearish bias here, so everything is kind of lining up for an entry here if we do want to take a sell, but there's just nothing for us to take right now at the moment. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Unfortunately, it looks like one of those days where we're not going to have any official entries. The problem with this here is that price kept hanging out around the news price right here, right? This was like the biggest issue for us, because price just kept hanging out right here, and we couldn't take any trades because they were at the red flags. There was a couple entries that came up here, but none that we could actually take because it was literally at the red flags. So yeah, it's just one of those days. I mean, yesterday we had a really good trading day, so that's fine. That kind of made up for, I don't know, what was it, Monday? Did we have any official trades this week? Let me check. So we only had like, well, let me see, we had one trade yesterday. This one here is a momentum scalp and momentum scalp variation. I took a pre-market trade yesterday. That didn't count because it wasn't during the live. Yeah, we only had like one strategy here that we took. So there's only one official entry for this week so far, which is fine because it's better to have like one good win than have like one loss and then one good win, because then it's not going to pan out since it's at a negative risk reward. CJ said, I love how all my throwback strategies are making a comeback. I know, right, CJ? So guys, a lot of people ask when they join our community, they ask if any of these strategies still work. The answer is 100% yes, they all still work. You guys can see we haven't used the SR rejection scalp since last summer, right? But it still works perfectly fine. You guys saw here, there was like 4 entries that came up. So all these strategies here on my course, they all work perfectly fine. I've tested these strategies for years, so I know that they all work perfectly fine. It's just there's going to be times where they work better than others. Right now, the SR rejection scalp is just killing it. There's so many entries that are coming up, and they're all hitting full TPs. So if you guys want to go and rewatch those strategies, feel free to check them out, and then just find out which one you guys like. If you guys are new to the community, go to the course, find one strategy that you really like, and then master it. I mean, that's all you really need. For example, here, I've only been applying these 3 strategies for this year so far. And looking at the results for this year so far, I'm doing pretty decent. I'm not doing crazy good, but I'm doing pretty decent overall with consistency. So for the year over here, you can see the results for 2023. I'm currently up 18% across, this entire year from January, February, and March. I'm in positive equity right now, which is perfect. That's what you guys should be focusing on: positive equity and percentage gain. Because, like, for example, 18.50%, like I'm on a 400K account. If I was to do just one account there, or I'll do 200 because I just got the 400K like in February. So we'll just base it off a 200K account times 18%. That's up like 36 right now, 36,000 for the year, which is not bad. I mean, it's not crazy good, but it's also not bad. That's just one account. You multiply this by 4 accounts, I'm doing pretty decent so far for the year. So basic discipline there, guys. If you guys can stay disciplined, you can have multiple accounts, your profits will add up over time. And then same with the strategy here that, like, Christians is starting to focus on the high-low scalp. This strategy as well is like one that we used to use a lot back last year. Still works perfectly fine. I think the high-low scalp has to be used with a confluence. So I wouldn't necessarily take it by itself. I would take it with a confluence, like aligned with another strategy, like a momentum scalp or something like that. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so it's getting close to 8 o'clock, guys. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. The only entry that we could have right now would be a momentum scalp failure. So with price down here, we would need a buy signal. So we need a green buy signal to push price up. If it pushes price up, that's going to be a setup for a momentum scalp failure entry. So looking over here at the requirements, first confirm overall trend on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute time frames. We currently have a bearish trend. Obviously, you guys can see here on the 10 minute, price is below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. Same with the 5 minute over here, price is below the pivots, trend meters red, and the pivots are angling down. And then lastly, here on the 1 minute, you can see we have the same thing. Price is below the pivots, trend meters red, and the pivots are angling down. So with that said, if we have everything lined up here for step 1, we move on to step 2, confirm retracement momentum signal. In order for us to have that, we need to have a green buy signal come up right here on the 1 minute. Until we have that, there's not going to be any entry. So once we get a buy signal over here, that's going to be step 2. Once we have step 2, we move on to step 3, confirm volume is below average. Volume is down below here. If these bars are above the blue line, that's above average. If the bar is below the blue line, that's below average, right? So right here, we have a pending buy signal. This could be a possible momentum scalp failure. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know I typically don't take this trade here. I think this trade's a little risky because you're counter trend trading at this point. You're basically looking for price to push up, and then you're trying to catch it as it comes back down. It doesn't necessarily always play that way because the trend could be shifting, right? So for me personally, I'll mark this up for you guys if it is a momentum scalp failure, but I'm not planning on taking it. I'm just going to give you guys a heads up, right? Because I do think it's a bit of a risky trade. Yeah, 24 seconds left on it. The problem with this here too is that since it's a counter trend move, this here doesn't always play out properly. Like this right here can just disappear at the last second. That's the thing that I hate about this the most, because this can push up and then at the last second, price will just come right back down. And then it'll disappear with the buy signal. So there we go, the closure right there. At that point, this is a momentum scalp failure entry. Again, I'm not taking this trade here, guys. I think for this, you might want to use a 25.50 actually, because the range over here is kind of wide. So you probably want to use a 25.50. I'm not in this position, just wanted to mark it up for you guys to show you guys where entry would be. And this is why I don't like taking it. Like this right here, I don't like when price does this, where it pushes up super heavy, because you're going against the trend. You're going against momentum. Momentum gives you a buy signal here. And when you take a trade like this, you're kind of just taking the opposite direction. And this is why it's risky. And then Charles as well over here, he said the 1 hour makes a double bottom. So let me go over here and check the higher time frames. Let's see. So I could see the double bottom that Charles is referring to. I don't see a V1 variation though. So for me personally, I would look for a V1 variation to look at price action, but I can see what Charles is looking at. He identified a double bottom rejection over here on the bottom side, which is completely fine. I mean, it happens sometimes, you know, you'll get something like this where you'll get that double bottom rejection. The only thing with this here though, is that it's not a clean rejection, right? Like what I like to see here is I like to typically see, so I would have considered this a double bottom at 3 o'clock, Charles, this one back here, right? So I would have seen this as a double bottom because it's a clean rejection. It's not breaking past the low, but the one that you identified right now, it was already like broken past it right there. I know it's still considered double bottom, but I don't like when it's like broken past it so far, because this can just continue to drop lower from where it's currently at. So for me personally, from my analysis, I wouldn't consider this a double bottom. I know others would, because there is a double bottom rejection right here. But for me, I like clean rejections. I like rejections when they're just like, when they don't break past it like this. Because at this point, for me, I would just consider this a new support, like just being reestablished right here. So instead of having that double bottom right there, I would see something like this. So this might be what Charles is looking at. This might be what you saw, Charles. So if you didn't extend it out all the way, I think your analysis for a double bottom rejection would be nicer over here, because you can see where it's not breaking past it. This is where it's creating a strong support. So if you see a lot of rejections right here, like a lot of wick rejections, that could be indication that price is going to bounce, right? So no, you're right. You're right with your analysis, Charles. You're not wrong. It's just for me personally, I'm just like OCD with this. I like when it's like super clean. Because it just creates uncertainty for me personally. Like if I see something like this, I'm like, okay, is this really a rejection, or is it gonna just bounce from where it's currently at? Yeah, because I like, for me personally, I would think this is indecisive when it's broken past like that. But everyone's analysis is different. So the thing with trading, guys, that you guys need to understand, like the thing that I hate the most is when people bash other people's analysis, or they bash other people's strategies. There's no right or wrong way to trade, right? If you can be profitable trading however you like to trade, then that's completely fine. The thing is, as long as it's profitable. If it's not profitable and people are bashing your strategy, then it probably doesn't work. But the thing with trading is that there's like millions of ways to trade. You don't have to trade the way I trade. Like so the thing that we trade in the direction of trend, right? There are other traders who trend counter trend. So they actually do the opposite. They try to catch reversals. That's another way to trade. I've been a counter trend trader in the past. I did make a lot of money counter trend trading. I think it's good with options, not necessarily with directional trading, but I have traded counter trend trading in the past. It's good with options because you're looking for the bounces off certain price points. But yeah, with me personally, I like to trend trade. I think trend trading is more of a longer lasting trading style. All right, Maddie. Maddie said, well passes 1%. See you tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Maddie. I'll see you then. Yeah, Vince said the momentum failure hit stop loss. Yeah, that's why I don't like taking the momentum scalp failure, guys. I almost never take that strategy. If you guys look at the strategy there, I just use that as a confluence. Like typically, I don't take the momentum scalp failure, but I'll look for price to come back below. So for example, the momentum scalp failure was right here. What I look for is I look for price to come back below and close. And when it closes below, that becomes a momentum scalp variation. So for this one right here, I would take it if it closed below, but it didn't close below here. So there's no entry for me to take. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com. Otherwise, you guys can message me on Telegram at KodiKaiTrades. Some profits over here from Barack, total profit of 4,941. Nice work, Barack. Great work right there. Maddie over here, total profit of 1,620. Great work right there, Maddie. Yeah, great work to everybody, guys. If you guys made profits today, solid. If you guys didn't, it's okay. I didn't take any trades myself, so I didn't take anything. I have a flat day today, which is cool. I'm still up from yesterday, so it's not a big deal. We'll be back here tomorrow for the next session to continue on with our analysis of this trading week. Tomorrow on Thursday, let's see if there's any pre-market news. A lot of pre-market news, unemployment claims. I'm expecting this to be negative, of course. We're going through a recession. We're not expecting more jobs to come up. People are getting laid off. Philly Fed manufacturing index. Also, I think I'm expecting this to be negative. Housing starts. I'm thinking this to be negative as well. And I think that's it. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel